crocodile pose. You're gonna lay on the belly, lay on your belly, head towards the front of the mat. You may need to move some props off of the back of the mat. Obviously there's lots of people, but there's plenty of room in the middle of the room. So feel free to put your props in front of your mat. Crocodile pose. We're gonna turn the mind inward towards the breath. If your toes are up against the wall, feel free to scoot forward a little bit. Change your position. Okay? And now take a few deep breaths in through your nose and exhale, almost like a sigh for a couple of breaths on your exhale. Again. Last one. Now breathe in and out through your nose. And just feel your physical breath. If you can feel the weight of your chest on the floor, bring your elbows a little closer to your chest and prop yourself up a little. You want to feel the weight of your belly, but not really the weight of your chest. Crocodile is not a perfectly comfortable posture, at least not at first. So with that intention of grounding and settling in, take another deep breath, this time in and out through your nose, and observe the feeling of your breath in your belly. Feel your belly gently press into the floor. Feel the subtle sense of effort it takes to breathe. Take one more deep breath here, in and out through your nose. And now relax your effort to breathe. Let your breath become completely and utterly effortless. With this effortless breath, encourage the quality of smooth. Smooth breath is free from pauses and jerks. Smooth breath and now complete. Complete means you have the sense that your breath is enough. It will satisfy your desire and your need to breathe. Smooth breath, complete, and now even. Observe your inhale and exhale and make the whole flow of that breath even. The whole inhale even, the whole exhale even, and your inhale and exhale even with one another. Smooth, complete, even, and now quiet. Let your breath drop into a very calm and quiet state. Smooth, complete, even, quiet, and finally continuous. Again, allow your breath totally effortlessly. Allow your breath to blend inhale and exhale seamlessly into one another. Smooth, complete, even, quiet, continuous breathing. All we have done is observe the breath and effortlessly, not a single ounce of extra energy has been spent, effortlessly encouraged the breath to become more smooth, complete, even, quiet, and continuous. But notice how you feel now. Notice the state of your body. How much more calm, still, maybe even more relaxed. Notice the state of your mind. More calm, relaxed. Take a slightly deeper breath in and exhale. Very slowly, like you're moving through molasses, flip over onto your back and lay on your back. When you're ready, maybe inhale your arms up over your head and take a little good morning style stretch. Just stretch your whole body. And if you'd like to take a little bit of tension off of your lower back muscles, just go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. And it's the only real yoga posture that we're going to need to do before our relaxation exercise. Otherwise, you can make your way right to Shavasana, which is laying on your back. If you're hugging your knees in, take a couple breaths. Maybe squeeze them in to stretch your back muscles a little bit, and then slowly extend your legs, separate them about hip or shoulder distance apart, relax your arms down by your sides. Palms face up is a very receptive position for the heart and for the arms and for the hands. Make adjustments to your clothing or position. Make yourself comfortable. Take a deep breath. Bring your awareness to the center of your forehead. Feel, soften, relax your forehead. Feel, soften, relax your throat center. Both of your shoulders. Feel, soften, relax. Elbows. Wrists. The tips of both of your thumbs. Both of your index fingers, both middle fingers, ring fingers, pinkies, both wrists. Both elbows, again, both shoulders, and again relax your throat center. Soften and relax your heart center. Both the left and right sides of your chest, relax. back to your heart center. Feel, soften, relax, heart center. Relax your navel center. Pelvic center. Both hip joints. Feel, soften, relax hip joints. Both knees. Both ankles. The tips of your big toes. Feel the tips of the big toes. Soften and relax big toes. Second toes on each foot. Third toes. Fourth toes. And fifth toes. All the toes of both feet. Again, relax ankles, perhaps even deeper. Knees, relax your knees. Your hip joints. Your pelvic center. Navel center. Heart center. Throat center. Center of your forehead. Feel, soften, relax your forehead. Without any effort, just become aware of the state of your body now. Notice how your awareness is moving inward and how your body is a little bit more still, if not more relaxed, than it was when you walked in. Bring your awareness back to your forehead and take a nice deep breath. Feel your forehead and breathe. Now inhale your awareness up to the center, from your center of your forehead to the crown of your head. Exhale from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Inhale, toes to crown. Exhale, crown to toes through the whole body. Inhale, toes to crown. Exhale, crown to toes. Inhale, toes to crown. Exhale, crown to ankles. Inhale, ankles to crown. Exhale, crown to ankles. Inhale, ankles to crown. Exhale, crown to your ankles. Follow your breath through your body. Inhale, ankles to crown. Exhale, crown to knees. Inhale, knees to crown. Exhale, crown to knees. Inhale, knees to crown. Exhale, crown to the base of your spine, pelvic floor. Inhale, base of spine to crown. Exhale, crown to base. Inhale, base to crown. Exhale, crown to navel center. Inhale, navel to crown. Exhale, crown to navel. Inhale, navel to crown. Exhale, crown to heart center. Inhale, heart to crown. Exhale, crown to heart. Inhale, heart to crown. Exhale, crown to throat center. Feel the throat center. Inhale, throat to crown. Exhale, crown to throat. Inhale, throat to crown. Exhale, crown to forehead. Center your forehead. Inhale, forehead to crown. Exhale, crown to forehead. Inhale, forehead to crown. Exhale, crown to forehead to the opening of your nostrils. Inhale, nostrils to forehead. Exhale, forehead to nostrils. Inhale, nostrils to forehead. Exhale, forehead to nostrils. Inhale, nostrils to forehead. Exhale, rest at the forehead. Effortlessly again notice the state of your body, the state of your mind. Undoubtedly, your awareness has moved inward, not outward, but inward. Take a nice deep breath. Feel your body move with your breath. Feel the pleasantness of that deep breath. Spread that sense of movement out into your fingers and toes, and let your fingers and toes move. Your hands and your feet move. Your arms and your legs move. Inhale your arms up over your head. Take another good morning style stretch. Moving so slow, so gently, so relaxed. And on your exhale, very slowly and gracefully make your way to a seated meditation position. Remember your props. Remember to sit with your back supported by the wall. And take a full minute to make your transition and to establish yourself and make yourself comfortable. Although your body is moving, maintain a sense of inward stillness and awareness. Come back to your focus on your body, on your mat, on your props, on your clothing, and just make some adjustments. Even if you feel like, all right, I'm there, ask yourself, what few things, at least one thing, could I do to make myself more comfortable? Maybe move your clothing, maybe shift your position a little bit, maybe roll your shoulders back. Make sure that you are well supported and that you are using your props to make your body as comfortable as possible. That is very, very important. There is no intensity here. It's all ease, relaxation. Once you've settled into a position you can stay still in, take a nice deep breath. And just commit yourself to a few moments of stillness. Stillness by relaxation. Bring your awareness to the center of your forehead and take several breaths with your awareness at the center of your forehead. A little secret, if you have a hard time really feeling your forehead, you can take the fingers of your right hand and very, very gently, lightly graze them across your forehead and then lower them back down either into your lap or on your legs, wherever they were. And you will continue to feel the awareness of your forehead. 1 or 2 more breaths at the forehead. Now take 1 breath at the space between your eyebrows. Feel the space between your eyebrows. 1 breath. Take 1 breath at your eyes, nice and relaxed. 1 breath at the opening of your nostrils. 1 breath at your throat center. 1 breath at both shoulder joints. 1 breath at both upper arms. Both elbows. Both wrists. The palms of both of your hands. Take 2 breaths at the tips of all of your fingers. Feel your fingertips and breathe. Feeling the fingertips with your breath. Take 1 breath at your palm centers. 1 breath at your wrists. 1 breath at your elbows. 1 at your upper arms. Shoulders. Throat center. Take 1 breath at your heart center. 1 breath at your solar plexus at the base of your sternum. 1 breath at your belly button, navel center. 1 breath at pelvic center. Take 2 breaths at the base of your spine, pelvic floor. Then 1 breath at your pelvic center. One breath at your navel center. One at your solar plexus. Heart center. One breath at throat center. One at your nostrils. One at your eyes. One breath at eyebrow center. And rest your awareness at the center of your forehead and take several breaths. Accumulating and flooding your forehead with awareness and breath, prana, the energy of the breath. Take one last moment to again observe the state of your body and mind. Notice the trend of going inward. Take one more breath here at your forehead. And then take a slightly more robust physical inhale. And very slowly bring your palms together at your heart center. Having rooted your awareness in your body and rooting your mind here at the center of your forehead. Go ahead and rub your hands together. Get your palms nice and hot. Once your palms are nice and hot, cover your eyes. When you feel the warmth of your hands over your eyes, let the heat of the hands soak into the eyes. And then slowly, with your hands still over your eyes, blink your eyes open. And then when you're ready, eyes still open, slowly, slowly lower your hands away from your eyes. You can go bring your hands again back to your heart center. Having opened your mind and grounded yourself very deeply in the present moment, you are now more fully prepared to receive your Satsanga. So practice deeply listening to our dear friend who's here to share the message with you today.
If you'd like to join me in 3 ohms, simple sound. Sounds like Om. Exhale. Bring your palms again to your heart. Inhaling. Exhaling, relaxing your arms. Noticing how those Om vibrations reverberate through your mind and create an atmosphere of peace within you and externally. I'll invoke the Satsanga by invoking the Guru and his Guru and all divine sages and saints. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvatitam Gagana Satrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satguru Tam Namami. Adorations to the true Guru, the giver of supreme bliss, the embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second. Vast, infinite like the ether, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, that supreme preceptor. Welcome to the Satsanga. Sat, as Joe mentioned, is truth, and Sangha means to be together with or to be in the company of. Truth, teachings, and seekers. Teacher of truth, seeker of truth, and the truth, which is expounded in the Satsanga. So whose truth? My truth? Your truth? The truth. You say, well, what is the truth? Now that is what all spiritual seekers, all yogis, will discover for themselves. Not a question of belief, but a question of revelation, a process of revealing that which has always been there. You already are pure consciousness. You don't need to attain or gain. See, your true self, which is the goal of all yoga, the self with a capital S, is not something that you can gain or lose. Consciousness is not something you can gain nor lose. It is realized. So self-realization is about realizing who you truly are. What we get into problems is when we have an identity which is not who we are. What do we call that? We call that an ego. All of our problems are hooked on the ego. And if you unhook the ego, there go all the problems. You say, what happens to me though? That's a great question. If I've unhooked my ego, then where am I? Who am I? Are you conscious right now? I hope so. Even when you are waking state, dreaming state, and deep sleep state, those are all borrowed consciousness from absolute consciousness. The truths and the revelations that you are hearing and learning from Nicole and Joe are not created by anyone's mind. These are absolute truths. So let's have an example. There are 108. Have you ever seen a mala, one of these rosary type, with 108 beads? 108. When it's your birthday, and then you have the summer solstice and winter solstice, you do 108 sun salutations. You have 108 major Upanishads, major scriptures that contain all of the wisdom which forms the foundation of yoga. What is this 108 number? Why does it keep showing up everywhere? So ancient times means before recorded history. The rishis, the sages, the illumined beings who codified yoga. Remember, the pure self is the nature, the subtlest, purest nature of yoga is your own self. Those beings who brought this system now in this organized way of illumining oneself and one's reality. That yoga was revealed by the rishis. These rishis, it's hard to understand how a rishi was living the life of a rishi, but here's one example of this 108 number. This 108 number is a factor. It's a multiplier, it's a divider. It's one of the mathematical constructs of this universe. If you take the diameter of the moon and you multiply that by 108, you get the exact distance from the moon to Earth. How did they know this without having gone to the moon and measured with measuring tape around the moon? Circumference and the diameter. Without telescope, without satellite, without computer, without any of the, quote, advanced technology that we have today, how did they know? If you take the diameter of the sun multiplied by 108, you have the exact distance from sun to Earth. Can you go to the sun? Can you stand on the sun and measure the sun? It's a ball of gas. So, the answer is how they knew, and how you will discover all the truths which are dormant here, latent in your own heart, in your own soul, is by meditation. This practice, highlight of all the yoga, Raja Yoga practice that we practice, bringing our mental energy and physical energy into a spiritual energy. The object of your meditation, your mind absorbs all the knowledge of the object. How? By becoming one with the object. Point to your mind. This is the brain. Brain is a channel for your mind. Just like electrical wires are the channel for electricity. Cannot see the electricity, but the channel is required. So nervous system, brain, spinal cord, peripheral, central nervous system are all the wires, physical channels through which mental energy flows. That mental energy, mind, has no barriers, has no limits. It's a divine, infinite energy, your mind. So that mind becomes one. The object and mind become one when you meditate successfully. And you and your mind and that object having become one, you have now all of the object absorbed, merged with all of the knowledge of that object. So these rishis, these ancients, these illumined beings, did that with the universe. With past, present, and future. And they were able to ascertain the age of the universe, the formation of the universe, when this universe concludes, and when the next one will begin, how everything happens. And not only externally, here, this universe, this world, is as vast and as fascinating, even more so, than outside, because this is all a microcosm of the macrocosm. Every mineral and element and aspect of life outside of you is actually found inside of you. So if you're trying to heal something outside of you, if you're trying to discover the cause of something outside of you, look inside of you. Because where are you having the experience of life? In your mind. Mind is the basis of life. your experience of life. What is toxic to one person is nectar to another. What is likable by one person is dislikable by another. And even yourself, at the beginning of the day, you can like something or someone and dislike them at the end of the day. So, is there anything truly likable or dislikable? No. It is an illusion. That is where you find real happiness, by transcending illusions. Holding on to illusions, who holds on to the illusions? Ego holds on to the illusions. And when the ego goes down, all the illusions go with it. What you are left with is your pure, unruffled, unshakable peace. You are the witness to the world, to your body, and to your own mind. So we just have to understand that seer and seen, it's called Drigdrishya Viveka. It's the discrimination between seer and seen. It's a very elementary but very important process, a thought experiment. We can all do it right now. Seer is the eyes, and seen is the world. Eyes are separate from the world that they see. Okay, easy. You're like, okay, move on, I get it. Eyes are the seer, world is the seen, and eyes are not the same as what the eyes are seeing. Next, the condition of the eyes. So you know the condition of the world by your eyes, by seeing. Now the condition of the eyes is known to who? Known to your mind. The eyes are open, the eyes are closed, the eyes can see close, the eyes can see far. The condition of the eyes and sight is the seen, and the mind is the seer. And now, who is witnessing and observing the condition of your mind? That's the real you. That witness, that observer, is not involved and caught up with what is in the mind, what is in the body, and what is in the world. It is forever asanga, non-attached. It is forever the witness, the silent observer, immovable, birthless and deathless, beyond all pairs of opposites. Remember, where are the pairs of opposites? You have cold and heat. You have pleasure and pain. You have happy and sad. Even these are concepts of the mind, pairs of opposites. You are the illuminer. You are the awareness in which all of this drama is being acted out. Think about it like a cinema show. The movie screen and projector. And in the projector you have film. That film is frame by frame. And there is a little gap in between each picture in the film strip, frame by frame. That mind, that projector, is projecting this film, this drama, onto the screen so fast that you cannot discern that gap, but it is there. You are actually having one thought followed by a next thought, followed by a next thought, followed by a next thought. You're not having multiple thoughts at the same time. It's vritti by vritti, thought wave followed by thought wave followed. But it's so fast that you cannot see and glimpse the gap where you would see the screen. Beyond all projections, beyond all dramas. That screen is your consciousness. The mind is projecting onto the screen of your consciousness. if you take away the screen, do you have any show? No. What is the very basis of all the dramas? The screen. That projector can either project positive experiences and dramas, positive, happy stories, and it can project sad stories, tragic stories. Does any of that affect the screen? What you are listening to is coming in through your ears and into the mind, and we think about it. Even your understanding is illumined by consciousness, by awareness. Your ability to understand the Satsanga and not understand the Satsanga is illumined by consciousness. So do we say, okay, I'm going to meditate now. I'm going to become consciousness. I'm going to identify with my consciousness. And then we've meditated and the class is over and we exit the studio, and that's when I'm no longer conscious. It's not the case. Your whole life, birth, growth, decay, death, is all projection onto the screen of your consciousness. You are witness to it. You are beyond it. You are transcendental. So, just like that 108, you have 3 bodies, and you have 5 layers to your personality. These 5 layers are grouped into 3 bodies. So come again. How many bodies did you say I have? I've got 1 body. 3 bodies are here. So instead of 20 people here, there's 60 people. No, I'm just kidding. So 3 bodies is physical body, astral body, and causal body. 5 layers of your personality are the physical layer, the pranic layer or energetic layer, the mental layer, the intellectual layer, and the unconscious causal layer. 5 layers, like a sheath that covers a sword. Sword is kept in a sheath. Imagine now there are 5 sheaths. The sword is the self, Atma, consciousness, I am. And everything you are not is the sheath. So pure consciousness is covered or veiled by these 5 layers. And this all is what we're doing in yoga practice, is purifying these 5 layers so that light of consciousness, which illumines the world, all bodies, and your own mind, that light begins to shine brighter and brighter. And that light, the nature of that light is truth, consciousness, bliss. In Sanskrit is known as Sat, Chit, Ananda. Very easy words to say, Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat is truth, Chit is consciousness, and Ananda is bliss. That is the nature of you. That is your true self. Identification with the layers is a movement towards suffering, because that's not who you are. So fundamentally, you set up an error or an ignorance, and that ignorance produces an ego because you forgot. What are you ignorant of? You're ignorant of the self. Who am I? The real self, the sword. So if I'm ignorant of the real self, then I'm going to take a fictitious self. That's called ego. Now that fictitious self has likes and dislikes. And by identification with the likes and dislikes, we have fear of losing our fictitious identity. all the suffering was just described as ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, and fear. If you have an attachment to something, you hate anything that gets in the way of your attachment. So anything that you like, you are automatically predisposed to dislike. See how like and dislike makes you keep swinging like a pendulum from happiness to sadness and back again endlessly? And you cannot find any stability, security, because you're constantly going after objects of your desires which never satisfy you. So we're purifying these layers and revealing this Sat, this Chit, this Ananda, this self, capital S self, or I am, and you are becoming more and more fulfilled within that self, by that self, and through that self. That is known as self-realization. Let's all do a little here. Place your hands here on your abdomen. I'm going to try to make a very low sound, AH sound, because remember Om, right? We Om'd in the beginning. Om is actually spelled A-U-M with a silent syllable at the end. Om, A-U-M. So the first letter A is an ah sound, not ah, but ah. And this ah, you want to resonate deep in your abdomen. Okay, so you can place one hand or two hands here on your abdomen and try to say, and you can feel your belly vibrate. All right, try again. You feel the vibration. Okay, so that's the A of Om. Now place your hands on your chest. We're going to do U. U is the O-O sound. Ooh. Feel the vibration in your chest, right? Now, M sound. A-U-M. Hands on the head. You can put them anywhere on the head. And just mouth closed. What happened here? Our vibration raised. Now, when you say in Sanskrit, Om, in grammar, A plus U equals the O sound. So you're correctly saying Om when you say Om. But you can now vibrationally, your vibration is rising from lower chakra. Lowest chakra is concerned with eating, food, drinking, okay? Physical needs, house, home. Second chakra. Second chakra, pleasure. Pleasure sense. Third chakra, money, solar plexus, concerned with fame, popularity. Now, only living here, you're very fragile. Your happiness is very fragile, on, what do they call it? On thin ice. You easily fall through the cracks. If you only live to eat, drink, have sex, and be famous. Now, when you raise your vibration with yoga practice, you now operate from the heart center. And from the heart center above. So now you're able to emote and to feel and share true love, to express divine unconditional love. Here's expression. Here's feel that love. Here's express that love. Here's realize that love. And here's the source of that love. Bringing your vibration higher and higher, practice by practice, meditation by meditation. So here's your practical tips, practices now. Okay, that's the profound understanding of what's happening. 5 layers grouped into 3 bodies: physical body, mental body or subtle body, and causal body. These are not you. Remember, everything that follows the I am is not you. I am is of the nature of consciousness. You are consciousness. So here's the practices. You have action. Your actions, you can promote your enlightenment and your bliss and your consciousness. You can promote them by transforming your action from egoistic action to ego-less action. Now notice that I didn't say don't do action, because you must do action. All human beings, all beings are disposed to action. So there must be a yoga that addresses our action. And that is called karma yoga. The yoga that purifies our action. And you do not accumulate egoistic karmas. Instead, you purify your karmas. First of all, when you start to purify your karmas, you're going to draw more congenial circumstances to you. You will draw more pleasurable experiences. And then, with advanced movement in yoga, you transcend pleasure and pain altogether. Remember the pairs of opposites. Likes, dislikes, illusions. So that's karma yoga. So any action you're doing, the actions you're currently doing, can be rendered selfless by removing the egoistic attachment to the fruits of that action. That's all. You do that action, you step back. The fruits will already come. The problem is when the ego gets involved with attachment to the outcome, to the results, and to the desires. Okay, so you can perform your actions that you currently must do. That any action that comes to you, perform it with attention, with precision, and with skill. With unselfishness, you have now entered into what is known as skillful action. Action that does not bind you, but liberates you. Second practice you can do is purify your feelings. Is to practice bhakti yoga, because you have emotion as one of the aspects of your personality. Action was one aspect, emotion is the second aspect. One way you can promote your peace and your harmony is to have purified feelings, because negative feelings drain your energy. So masters, yoga masters, sages and saints, they have developed the ability to conserve their mental energy by promoting positive feelings, goodwill, welfare for the world. The whole world became one's family. So they're not worried about securing what is mine, and you get what is yours, and I get what is mine. Mine and thine is a cause of separation and suffering. Feel authentically that you would like to uplift others through your thoughts, speech, feelings, and actions. Bhakti yoga, love for the sake of loving, pray for the sake of prayer, be more prayerful. Why? To become more prayerful. be more devoted for the sake of increasing devotion. Simplify. Remember who's getting caught up with, okay, but what do I get when I pray? That's the ego. Experiment. I'm asking you to experiment when you leave the studio with purifying your feelings. And one very quick way to do that is through music, actually. Mantra, kirtan. Easy, quick way that can even melt the most cold, stone-hearted person. That is the power of devotion. That is the power of love. That is the power of surrender. Divine surrender. Third aspect of your personality and third tip, practice you can apply today is to increase the power of your will through meditation. If you wish to receive and get and reach the goals that you set out to achieve, if you want to achieve the goals you set out to achieve, you can promote that by a stronger, clearer, more focused mind. We set out to do something, mind gets distracted, we forgot what we set out to do. Meditation will allow your mind to focus and concentrate on your goal and reach it. That is the benefit of meditation. So try to sit for 5 minutes. And what time? Any time where you can be free of distractions. Many of us, that's right when we wake up. The mind had just been in deep sleep. So it's more peaceful. There's not a lot of contents shoved into the mind throughout the day. You just woke up. So at that time, before you let the world in, you meditate. You clear your mind. You make sure what is important to you is you will reach that. The aim. Okay, so sharpening your mind will allow you to reach the goals you set for yourself. Fourth and final is what you're doing right now, is purifying your intellect, your understanding. I once asked my guru, I said, Gurudev, why is it that when the masters are enlightened, they only teach wisdom, knowledge? The enlightened masters, they have taught and have mastered the asanas, the poses, the pranayamas, the breathing exercises, the withdrawal of the one's senses, and the meditation. But why is it that their sole focus is knowledge, is wisdom, is illumination? I found it interesting. And he said, well, that's because you cannot make any adjustment or change in your action unless you understand how to do so. If you want to promote you want to promote progress in your life, you have to understand what is the goal, how to get there, what resources will I need, etc. What qualifications must I possess? All that you must understand. Therefore, they give you understanding. And therefore, you are empowered to make those changes and improvements for yourself. In your own personality, in your own life, in your own community. So this is the power of understanding. This is what you're doing right now, and it is the most important, actually, aspect of yoga practice. It's called Satsanga. All the masters echo the number one thing, the one thing, most important, more important than diet, more important than meditation, more important than breathing, more important than exercise, is what you're doing right now. Because You will learn the secrets and the techniques and the practices here in this satsanga. You will understand what is that practice, why should I practice it, and the end, the means and the end. All is revealed, and you understand it. It's not a question of belief. It's resonating with your own common sense. Enlightenment is profound common sense. One example of this is a dark room and a snake is on the ground. But that snake is actually a rope you misperceived in the darkness as a snake. And when you misperceived it as a snake, you jumped in fear and fright, and you screamed, and you shouted, and you were in, and then you've made other people shout because you said snake, 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 and I'm freaking out, and everyone else starts freaking out. And here comes the guru, he flips on the light. No, everybody relax. It's just a rope. And what one person in the dark saw as a rope, another person saw as a crack in the ground, and another person saw as a discarded garland. The garland, the crack, and the snake were all illusions caused by darkness of ignorance. When you flip on the light of knowledge, you realize there is nothing to fear. So my blessings are with all of you for Shakti, for spiritual strength, for Bhakti, for devotion, for faith, and for Mukti, freedom, absolute emancipation from all forms of suffering. May you attain the blessed goal of life, self-realization, divine love. And with this we conclude. Om Tat Sat.
Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you to Sudarshan for being here and speaking.
Should I close with mantra?
Sure, you
Prayer.
can do one.
If you want to,
Okay, that's right.
you can.
Okay, exhale, we'll bring our palms here, we'll seal this container, we've opened the container, we've put it in this nectar, and now making sure all the merits and benefits are sealed and here, contained for you. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a bow to yourself. Thank yourself sincerely, genuinely for showing up to yourself. Namaste.
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 Namaste.